I am BouseFeenux, and I'm here to ask you a question. Is the PC player not entitled to a well-done remaster? No, says the man in Sony. It belongs to the PS4. No, says the man in Microsoft. It belongs to Xbox One. No, says the man in 2K. It belongs to consoles. Oh boy, what's going on everyone, and welcome to another video. BouseFeenux here, and if you're like me, Bioshock is one of your absolute favorite game franchises of all time, despite what the passive-aggressive titles of your YouTube videos say. Also, if you're like me, you pretty much lost your damn mind when 2K announced that a quote-unquote remastered version of the entire Bioshock series was making its way to consoles. Imagine it, a timeless classic that redefined the scripted shooter genre with glorious next-gen visuals and physics, then imagine that what you've been waiting for is just a lazy console port that comes across as more of a retexture than a rework. Now, before you guys go crazy on me and abuse the dislike button, know full well that I love my consoles. I use my PS4 for gaming whenever I get the chance. I love video games no matter what I'm playing them on, so we're all on the same side here. Anyway, you can imagine that PC users are a little more than upset with the finished product of the Bioshock remaster. The game is severely lacking in graphical options indicative of a next-gen title. For instance, there's no field of view slider, depth of field settings, lighting detail, and worst of all, there are no individual graphics settings. They're all bound by a single preset. Now, in 2009 when this game was released, this was fine, but it's 2016, man, come on. And speaking of 2009, the Bioshock Remastered Edition still has the same old bugs, and even some new ones as well. Exciting. For instance, I had to restart this game 3 times before I actually got to play anything that wasn't a black screen. On top of all this, the game still has that weird mouse acceleration in menus that you can't seem to get rid of. As for the visuals themselves, there is a bit of the increased field of view in the Remastered Edition, and the textures are an improvement for sure, but they still look last gen. Honestly, they don't even look as good as Bioshock Infinite. The menus are still roughly the same clunky nonsense that for some reason you get controller prompts for, and the gun-firing animations are still a little jerky, even though they claim that the physics frame rates are higher now. Lastly, the lighting is a little better, but it's still not up to current-gen standards. At the end of the day, though, the one saving grace for this collection is that if you own the old Bioshock games, you get all of the remastered editions for free, and frankly, I think that's telling. I mean, it's fantastic to reward the loyal players that bought this game almost a decade ago, but seriously, I'd rather pay for a well-done, current-gen remaster than get something that a small modding community could have done, and probably have done better. You know, maybe some of this stuff will be fixed in the future, but honestly, I'm not going to hold my breath. I mean, the original Bioshock had the same bugs for almost a decade, and now this remaster has carried them over. As it stands, though, if you didn't get Bioshock Remastered for free, don't spend your $20 on it. It's a lazy port with a few improved textures and not much else. That being said, though, Bioshock itself is a fantastic game worth your time. The story is amazing, the combat, although a bit dated by today's standards, is still very satisfying. Until this day, the atmosphere of this game is amazing. My final verdict is just to wait until this goes on sale, which it probably will. Lastly, I know I usually don't do critical reviews like this, and I really hate to say something bad about a series that I have so many fond memories of, but I think it goes without saying that the gaming community and myself were just expecting a little more than what we got. And believe me, I know that sounds entitled, but I think it's obvious that this isn't how a remaster is supposed to be. I love the Bioshock series, and I really feel like a lot more work could have been put into this remaster. It just feels like a repackaged cash grab. But what do I know, though? I'm just an asshole that plays video games on the internet. Anyway, folks, that's gonna do it for me today as we take a look at the Bioshock Remaster by 2K Games. If you enjoyed this video and it saved you $20, don't forget to hit that like button because that helps me out a ton here on YouTube. Lastly, if you're new here, consider subscribing. It's free, and if I get enough of you hanging around, we could probably make our own Bioshock Remaster with a flipping FOV slider in the options menu. But until next time, I'm BouseFeenux. I'll see you at the next video, and as always, thank you so much for watching.